What up? It's Colton here. I just thought I'd do a little update and talk about some things in specific. Um, Things are going well with my transitions. I've got a binder that will be smaller and help me pass more on its way, thanks to someone from Tumblr. But I thought that I would make a video about how I, as a trans man, deal with like depression and self-harm and things like that, because I don't know if many of you know, but I used to be a cutter, and I think a lot of that I've discovered, especially over the past few months, sparked from this, I guess, self-hatred of my own body. And I mean, more than self-hatred, it was this not understanding why I felt so wrong in my skin and not getting why I didn't feel right in my own body when I knew that I should. And I guess learning that I was transgender and being able to finally put a label to why I was feeling so dysphoric about myself and about who I was on the inside and on the outside, it helped me a lot personally with being able to identify where that need to cut came from. And although I haven't cut recently, like since I discovered, well, I don't want to say discovered, but started identifying as male, because I think once I opened up more to myself and was able to process what it was like to stop and think that even though my body is my body right now and I may not like it and I may not feel comfortable in it, that soon enough I will be right and I will feel good about myself. And it gets tough sometimes dealing with being down. Like, I have days where my dysphoria hits me so hard that I don't want to do anything but lay in bed and cry. But we all know that's not a viable option most of the time. I think the best thing to do is just like talk with people, because it's scary dealing with being trans and knowing that you used to self-harm because of issues that sprouted from a gender identity crisis. And not many people will understand your reasoning for why, but I think there will always be people out there that understand what it's like to feel scared and to feel like you don't want to be in your body anymore. I would say it's an interesting thing to be able to experience depression and cutting and things like that, because it took so much for me to work past it, but there are still days where I want to go back to hurting myself, but I know I never would, not only because that would be a step back in my recovery that I promised to myself, but it would be a step back in who I am as a person, in who I am as trying to get comfortable with knowing that this is my body. And although I'm not the skin and I'm the soul within, I'm stuck in the skin for now, and I need to learn how to love it for who this body is. And I think that's the message I would send to everyone. You know, it's that it's hard, it's tough, and you hate yourself sometimes, and you want so badly to get out of the body that you're in, and you want so much to feel comfortable, but you can't. And it seems like self-harm is the way that a lot of us tend to go, but it's not worth it in the end, you know, because you see what it does to your body, and even if you hate your body, you can still feel this resentment towards yourself for messing it up even more than you already think that it is. So it puts you in this weird position of knowing that although you cut because of being transgender or having that gender identity crisis, and although you cut for those reasons, you also don't cut for those reasons. And it puts you on this fine line between understanding and confusion. I think I deal with it day to day, and I think that's how it will always be. It's a struggle I think I'll fight for a really long time, because it's tough to stop cutting. But I did. And for any of you out there who do cut, you can stop. It's hard, it's tough, it's scary, but you can stop. And if you ever need anyone to talk to, message me, find me, track me down. I will be more than happy to talk with you and just let you know that it will all be okay, because I know we see the slogans, and I know we see the people that say it all the time, all over Tumblr and YouTube and Facebook, but it does get better. And self-harm in any form isn't the way to go, and it isn't going to make it better. Even if it does in the short term, it will never in the long term. That's the message that I would want to send to people, is just know that it's scary and it's hard, but self-harm is never the answer, and that you can always work past it. Depression is hard to deal with, and self-hatred towards your body and wanting to harm yourself is hard to deal with, but if you let the darkness that is depression take over yourself, then that's just another thing blocking you from becoming who you want to be. And I think that's what keeps me going, is that if I don't cut, then that's one step closer to me slowly but surely becoming the man that I want to be. That's about all I have to say on this. Sorry if this video is kind of rambly. I don't really talk about this kind of stuff related to gender very often, but for real, just stay strong, all of you. Have a good night.